Welcome to Camelot, an empire ruled by darkness, where evil creatures inhabit the night, and mystic beings work by day to build their kingdoms.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Camelot, the Dark Kingdom. My Minecraft Survival Let's Play, Episode 5. So if you were here the last few episodes, you might remember this place looking very, very different. But you might remember this. So if you recall, I made this cathedral here, but then you came down and the mining village was over here. But I tore down the mining village and I'm rebuilding it all anew. Why, you ask? Because this looks way better. way better. I'm making like a medieval miners slums area. Like you come through here and they're putting their laundry up and it's grimy and dirty, and yeah, the reason I'm changing it up too is because I'm changing the lore up a little bit. You know, my lore was a little bit confusing and kind of, it was too much for one city, having all those different like mythological type creatures living in one city. It just didn't make any sense to me. And yeah, I want the cities to have like one specific direct focus. So the focus for this city slash kingdom is going to be, it's a mostly elf run city. It's going to be elves and humans, so it's going to be mostly elven. I'm going to get up here really quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so I turned up my render distance a little bit to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. But, yeah, it's going to be a mostly elf-run city. It's going to be very elven-inspired, but it's going to be elves and humans living in this kingdom. And, if you see here, I made a wall that kind of comes across this area because, you know, in real-life cities and villages and stuff along those lines, there's always different, like, districts. Like farming district, mining district, working district, industrial district, you know, things along those lines. So this wall is going to represent more of the mining working class. Oh, my tree grew. I gotta cut that down. But I just wanted the podzol. But this is going to be more of the industrial workers, you know, more poverty ridden people. That's where they're gonna live here. And this is gonna be mostly inhabited by humans, because in this kingdom, hold on, don't have the bed with me. In this kingdom, I'll be back in a second. Alright, so in this kingdom, it's going to be humans, which will be the lower class citizens of the kingdom of Yorkshire, and then that'll be part of this area too. But as it progresses more this way and comes up towards the school and what will be the castle up here, is going to be higher and higher and higher class of elves until it gets up to the castle, and that's going to be like, you know, the arc elves, if you will. So yeah, I hope that made sense. If not, I will explain it, or I can explain it again in the next video and try to be a little bit more concise. But yeah, so the human district, little bit of human slash poor elves area over here, and then as it progresses through Yorkshire, we will get up to the castle and it's going to get higher and higher class. That's why as you come more this way, the paths become a little bit more dirtier and dirtier until you get into the working class, and then it mostly becomes course, dirt and gravel. But I like the way that you really get a sense that there's a lot going on here. Like, people are, you know, hanging out their dirty work clothes and towels and whatnot after a long day's work, you know. But they can't afford a lot because the elven hierarchy doesn't really allow for the humans to prosper the way they should. So that's why that is like that. But I'm going to be building most of this mining area off of camera because of multiple reasons. Because I already built the mining area and it was a little crappy, and I felt like I could do a lot better. Since this is the world I'm going to be playing on forever, I should like put 100% into every build I do. That's kind of like what I'm thinking of for this world. But so I didn't like the other one, but we kind of already built it together, did a mining like slums area episode kind of thing. And also I was thinking too, I have to start doing, you know, a lot of builds off camera and then coming back and showing you guys, because that's kind of like the only way where we will make like a lot of good progress. Because if I'm building like one building every episode, then it's gonna be years before we finish a kingdom, and I want to have lots and lots of different kingdoms in this world. I want my file size to be like 50, and that was a lie, but I want my file size to be like 50 gigabytes when this maybe more when this world is done. And I want the kingdoms to be somewhat close together, so we don't have any like crazy, you know, things happen when the world gets updated. So what I think I'm going to be doing is continuing to build this area and then bringing you guys in for like progress update type things. So I'll be with you guys in just a minute. Also, I forgot to mention something that's pretty important. If you notice, we're playing on a texture pack. This texture pack is called Excalibur, which is really cool, and it's like a medieval style texture pack. And what I really liked about the texture pack is it still keeps kind of the same vanilla like template, like the I don't know, it still has a very vanilla feel to me, but just a little bit more medieval, which I think is perfect for us because I don't really do any modern style builds or anything like that. Most of my builds are going to be either medieval, fantasy, or like steampunk. I'm definitely not a modern builder type. Especially since I think like Minecraft really wasn't made for modern. Like, you don't see any modern things. You don't see like computers or guns or anything like that. A lot of the stuff you see in Minecraft is really old school medieval, horses, stuff like that. So that's what I encompass, and plus I'm really like a geek when it comes to medieval type stuff. So yeah, this is the Excalibur texture pack. There's a lot of things I did change in this texture pack to kind of, you know, make it more vanilla and more to my liking. Like this GUI had like a brown overlay that made it very dark and kind of, you know, hard to see. So I took that off, and the spruce texture, I put it back to the vanilla spruce texture. A bunch of the logs I changed back. There used to be a rainbow in the sky. I took that off. I didn't like that one bit. Wasn't very medieval dark times for me. So yeah, I like the wool. The wool looks very cool to me. I like the trapdoor textures. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I like the tool models. So yeah, I'm going to put in work now and get a lot of this done, because I think there's a couple more buildings I have to put up. I think I'm going to do another 2 back here. Not entirely sure, but I think I'm going to do another 2 back here. And then kind of a little area for the miners to come back into this pub back here. So why are these guys always stalking me? Why don't you ever just leave me alone? Let me be. Anyways. Alright guys, let's come back in here real quick for a little bit of a progress update. And so we have the roofs pretty much complete for these two extra little buildings over here. But what I mainly wanted to show you guys is, let's come back here, and I'm going to make a cool little pig pen. I wanted to put some podzol down here, but I realized I grew the podzol and I have no tools with like silk touch, so that's gonna have to wait. But I made this little pig pen area over here. I'm just going to make the little covering for it because, you know, pigs will be the livestock of choice for the humans in this area because they're cheap and they're easy to breed, they're easy to keep. Just gotta feed them whatever garbage you can, you know, you find laying around, stuff like that. So this is gonna be a little pig pen for them. Not sure if there's gonna be a way in. Yeah, we can still get in there. Might have to move that gate over one. But then again, the reason I put this here is because the fence is connected. I didn't really like that. By the way, this is birch fence. I think it looks really awesome in this texture pack. Definitely keeping that. And yeah, so there's been a little bit of planning done here too. This is going to be a small little build. Maybe this will be the guy who is in charge of making sure the livestock is kept and, you know, maintained. And then this will be another little building. Maybe this will be the guy that runs the bar over here, and then another one here. And I think that'll be pretty good for the mining village. I'll just make a little way down here to this mining project that they have going on over here. And they're mining this out for the elves, mainly the Ark elves who will be living in the castle, because the Ark elves are the ones that really need and have the power to, you know, use the gem that comes from the dark statue, Lazarus. I don't remember if that's what I named the statue, but I think it is. So, yes, that's what I've done so far. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be back in just a hot, a cold, Why are you guys still standing here? Leave, I say, or I'll beat you with this royal carrot. Leave my property. Leave, I say. They look like they have bones to their nose. I kind of like that a lot. Alright. Back to what we were doing. Alright, guys. So we got the mining district. Well, just like the living quarters for the mining district part done. Yeah, I put a lot of work into this. And I absolutely love it. Now I can't decide between which one's my favorite build. This one or this one. I don't know. This one's not complete yet, so I'm kind of loving this. I like the close quarters type of vibe it gives. Like if you put little alleyways like this in your builds, I think that definitely gives it like a super medieval vibe. Yeah, I really love that. So it's pretty much complete. The miners slums over here. I put a little cart over here too, so they can wheel their stone and things they need like that. And then we got something for him. And tell me he isn't so cute. I just want to. I just want to love him. All right, hold on. Hold on. I got something for you, sir. Oh, wait. I need to go name it. I'll do that in a second. Yeah, so pretty much what I did here, I was added a bunch of barrels and chest and crates laying around, so it looks very lived in, very cool. They have their little porches up here, and this one has like the most stories. So since there's a lot of people living in there, that one got a little smoke chimney, because you know, can't have all that polluted air in there with all of them. And then we have these other houses, and I think this first house is gonna be like the house for the scaffolding maker. And then if we go back here, this is the house for the barkeeper. Then yeah, haven't really decided what's gonna be for these other houses, but that is pretty much the housing situation for the miners in this district. And I'm gonna invite my pet dragon, who just so happens to fly around with a camera, to give you guys a cool cinematic view of our new little district here. And I think it looks even cooler from the top, to be honest. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little cinematic, and I came up with a name for the boy. And his name is going to be Oinkbert. Oinkbert. Because why? Because it's cool. And you're cool with your dead eyes. Anyway, so let's I don't know what exactly to do next. I definitely want to stay within this area because I want to get the human slums area of the Elven city done, pretty much. But I'm not entirely sure what to do next, so I really have to think on that. Maybe a carpentry area? I really have to think because I really need it to make sense. So this is all the miners. They go down and they mine, so they need wood for their mines. So a carpentry area would make sense. What else would they need? A blacksmith? Could make a really cool blacksmith area. I don't know, I just really want to start something else before the end of this episode. I do have to go finish this, but I want to do that after I finish this area over here. I want to get this area completely done so I can just move on. Move on to new, brighter pastures. Even though I love this. This is like one of my favorite builds right now. So, yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking on this. And we'll come back and we'll see where we're gonna build next. Okay, so I figured out what I'm going to be building next. But before I discuss that, I don't know if you guys seen it in the little it wasn't a time lapse, but the little, you know, cinematic of this town here. I built up a bunch of, you know, little shacks so it looks more slummy. Like, I want this place to, you know, feel just dirty and broken down. Added this little area here. And like a little sewer system going through here. Like, it got a crouch over here. It gets drained out here, but it comes from over here. Gotta fix this one a little bit so it's going this way, but yeah, I have a little sewer system going through here, so it just feels a little bit more dingy and stinky. I don't like that the water is so blue. It would be nice if it was in like a swamp area type thing, so it was like green water too. Then I put this little like leather drying rack, because you know, people in the slums areas usually have like all their work setups and stuff outside, like beds laying around and stuff too, like a little cooking area for people to come and cook their food. And I want to fix this. I can add some cobble here and here. Okay, cool. Yeah, a little cooking area for them. And yeah, so just added those little things, and I think they add a lot. And it skinnies up the road a little bit. So you have more of these tight like pathways like back here. So now I can talk about what I'm going to be building next. So what I'm going to be building next episode is going to be a warehouse. Because I need kind of, you know, what is it called? A singular area where all of my storage can be, because I have storage everywhere. Like, I have all this stuff laying around, and then if you come over here, let's go down here really quick. This is like where all of my stuff is. Like, I have a bunch of junk in here. Then my cows are like crowded over here. Look at my sheep. They're like so crowded. They're like glitching into each other, which it can't be healthy. And yeah, I want a proper, you know, storage area. These are all of my first tools and stuff. This was my first crossbow I got from my first, you know, raider guy killed in this area. And this is his banner. So, you know, we can hang that stuff up in the storage area. But I want this storage area to be pretty big, and I picked a picture off of Google that I really liked of a medieval warehouse design. And keep in mind, most of this stuff is like fantasy. Like, there's a medieval slums, but it's slightly fantasy too, because you know, a lot of this stuff is gonna be like pretty fantasy. Like, that's more realistic, but you know. So this is going to be the palette for the warehouse, which I think will match it very well. A lot of wool, darker tone woods, you know, cobble and stone for the bottom structure for more like stability and stuff, and then the normal woods. But I need to really figure out where I'm going to put this, so I'm going to have to pull up a map of, you know, this area, so then I can kind of sketch out where everything's gonna be. Because a big reason I had to tear down my little miners area here and kind of rebuild it is because I did like no pre-planning. I really just kind of built, and I want to have this whole area planned out so I know what I'm putting where, and it kind of all makes sense. So I have to do a lot more planning on that, and that'll probably be the end of the episode. So then next episode we can come back and build this warehouse. I am going to do a lot of little buildings and details and stuff off camera in between episodes, just so the city doesn't take like 2 million years to build. So what I think I'm going to do is get a map of this whole area and kind of sketch it out, and then come back and show you guys that map, so you can see kind of what I'm planning for the future. So I'll be back in just a moment so we can do this. I'm gonna have to go get that figured out. Alright guys, so here we have it. The finished map of this kingdom. And this map took quite a while to make. I'll say something like 2 hours because it took a lot of research and planning and time. So yeah, we can get into the mess that you see before your eyes. So the castle area took a long time to pick out because at first I wanted it on top of this mountain, because you know a lot of times castles are built on top of mountains and they need a strong like stone foundation because castles are really heavy. But what I'm thinking is, if I build up a little bit of a stone foundation over here, then the castle will have a natural moat around it, which is a natural like protection. Yeah, like people can come up from over here, but if they were trying to even get anywhere near close to the castle, they would have to go through a bunch of water, which will give the people defending the castle a pretty good advantage while people are trying to go through the water and attack. It's just doesn't fare well for them. Plus the castle will be like above this hill height, so they'll still have a height advantage too on top of it. So that's pretty good placement for the castle, so I'm pretty happy with that. So now if we go over here into this area, the areas marked off in red are, you know, government funded / government run, and by government I mean like the hierarchy of this town. So I wanted to have a lot of those hierarchy areas close to the castle, because a lot of these people, I don't know why this one's red, this one needs to be a different color, but all these over here, you know, these people kind of would go into the castle, maybe work there and come back over here and be traveling back and forth. So this area plus the high class area all need to be next to the castle, because it's a bunch of employees who would be working here or working over here, and they kind of intertwine a lot. So that is these areas. And what I have over here is kind of a barracks, and this will be like the higher end barracks, like the high ranking officers and the entrusted military officials will be closest to the castle. Then this area right here is the really high class elves who will be living, who have the most wealth and are closest to the king. Then over here we have a library and a university. This is for all of Camelot's people to be able to go to, but it's run by the hierarchy. Then we have the courts district. You know, any crimes committed in Camelot have to go into this area to be either punished or relieved of their crimes. And then a great hall, you know, high class and middle class people can come to the great hall to dine and conversate. Then we have the water mill, which goes along with the power generation here, and this is what will be supplying most of the power for Camelot. And then we need jobs for the middle class people, so we're gonna have some construction and sanitation. So the sanitation is basically gonna be the sewer systems running through Camelot and any type of pest control or anything like that, because medieval, even fantasy medieval cities have a lot of, you know, sanitation problems. So we need people to work that, and we have a lot of, you know, middle class area here, and they all need jobs. So this is going to be mainly for them: power, sanitation, and construction. And then we have a tavern here, and we're gonna have a tavern in the slums and a tavern here, but this is for the middle class. You know, people from the slums over here aren't allowed in the middle class tavern. And it's going to be like a spooky themed tavern, because there's going to be a cemetery for this cathedral here right behind the tavern. And then over here we're gonna have a stables, because there's going to be an exit out of the kingdom. There's gonna be a gate here, so people can come and grab their horses and leave Camelot if need be, and then they can come over here and go on their merry way and conquest if they need to. So that's this giant portion of Camelot over here. Then this quadrant is going to be mainly like the dark, dingy quadrant. Like, it's gonna have the Dead Meadows, and then this is gonna be like a necropolis type thing, where there's gonna be a bunch of dark magic going on, and this is gonna be walled off, and the king is gonna know about it, and he's gonna allow it to happen, but only certain kind of people can come here and practice this magic. If you're caught outside of the walls practicing necromancy or anything like that, it's a punishable by death crime. I'm gonna have like a guillotine or something somewhere. So the necropolis district will be right here, and it's gonna be walled off. So then right next to that, and right kind of, you know, on the underbelly of the cemetery, we're gonna have the Thieves Guild facade. Basically what they're going to be pretending to do here is, you know, sell goods and stuff like that, but it's mainly going to be like a black market type thing. Then down here outside of the city in the forest will be their actual base of operations, where they bring their stolen goods and stuff like that. So then here we have the, you know, the lower ranking military officials, the kind of, you know, the more dirty and unlawful military people that don't really care, and this is where they're going to be holding slaves and prisoners that are going to get sent off to the prison that will be right over here, kind of away from everything, because no one wants to have to deal with prisoners, you know what I mean? And then on this quadrant here, this will be basically the growing farming district area. And we're gonna have a barn for all our animals, so they can stop being in like a little underground cave over here. There's gonna be a big barn here and a warehouse. So I decided where I'm gonna be putting the warehouse. So that's the area for this. And this is just gonna be giant wheat, carrot fields, like all the types of different foods that the kingdom will need to feed its people. And then a brewery and a vineyard here for, you know, wine making and stuff along those lines. And where all that stuff will be imported from is this port here. There's gonna be a giant port. I gotta get rid of this old village here. I might keep one of the houses, you know, for memories, but not sure about that. Definitely gotta get rid of this sandbar here. Get rid of all of that. Get rid of this little island here. And over here is going to be the night market. This will be where a mix of like good and, you know, underground items will be sold. Like, it'll be a big mix, because it'll be people from the slums who can sell stuff, trade and barter here, and it'll be, you know, middle class, and anyone who wants to trade could be here. And then this will be the higher class market. Then all of this along here will be the seaport, where everything gets imported into. And then obviously here we have the big slums area, and in this section here we're going to be making the mortar station, because it castle requires a lot of mortar to be made in order for the construction of the castle. So that's here where they do it. They have the peasants here creating a lot of that, and then we're gonna have a huge main road that comes all the way up to the castle, where they will be bringing the items. So that's a slums area here and slums area here. Then over here, this will be like a mutant outcast area. This will be like the slums of the slums, essentially, like as bad as it can get. This is where most of the city's crime comes from, in that little area here. So that's basically the gist of Camelot. And then outside we're gonna have little fun things to find. We're gonna have a giant ruined castle here that's gonna double as a vampire lair, and I'm excited for that, but it'll be a while before we do that. A Siren Island, which is very cool, and then a Hydra lair back here under this cave area. So that'll be very fun too. But you see now why a lot of the buildings here I'm going to, especially in like the middle class areas and a lot of the slums, I'm going to be building off of camera, because this is probably a year-long, maybe slightly less project. And if I was going to build every single last house on camera, this would just take infinitely longer to do that. So a lot of stuff I'm going to be building off of camera, but there's going to be a lot of stuff here that I'll definitely be building on camera with you guys. This castle, probably the magic district, and definitely like the necromancer district, Dead Meadows, like all the stuff that's really like unique that I haven't seen a lot of other YouTubers do. Definitely those types of things are the things that I'll be making like full episodes for just that, and we'll be building together. So that's gonna have to just about do it for this episode, guys, because today's Friday and I was planning to release the video today, but that little map making detour took a lot longer than I thought. So what I'm probably going to do now is edit for the next hour or so, and then, you know, lay in bed and watch movies until I fall asleep, or watch YouTube videos, I don't know, something along those lines. And then I will put out the video tomorrow, because I don't like putting out videos in the middle of the night when everyone is going to bed. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Be sure to subscribe, because why not? And I hope you guys have a good, great, amazing, wonderful, glorious day. Goodbye.